Good morning, friends. I welcome you to yet another cognitively fueled session of the Induction Ignite 2020. I am Professor Arpit Trivedi, your event host and moderator. Let me take you through the process of how we'll conduct the webinar today. Our guest will address the batch for 1 hour. First 50 minutes will be knowledge sharing and last 10 minutes will be question and answers. Students are encouraged to put their relevant to the topic questions in the chat box. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our notable speaker of the day, Mr. Gajanan Sapate. Sir is a passionate entrepreneur and digital marketing enthusiast. With more than a decade of experience in digital marketing ecosystem, Sir has worked with some of the top brands in India and around the globe. Sir is a renowned speaker in the digital space and have shared his thoughts on many national and international forums. Some of the noteworthy mentions are World Marketing Congress, National Digital Marketing Summit, World Retail Congress, SOCHM, and WordCamp, to name a few. Sir has been cited ever since 2017 by World Marketing Congress among top 50 most influential digital marketing leaders in the world. Gajanan Sir is Bachelor of Science specializing in biotechnology. Sir completed his Masters in Management from Amrita School of Management and St. Clement Horetsky, Bulgaria. Sir is Director of Social Champs Media, a leading digital marketing agency in the country. Commenced in the year 2011, today Social Champs has catered to over 500 brands in 20 plus countries. Now, I would request Gajanan Sir to open the session for our students. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. A real pleasure talking to young talents always. And the topic we're going to be covering today is make your MBA, to make the most out of your MBA and then embrace the success. Now, there are two keywords in this topic, and both of these keywords are close to my heart. One is MBA and other is success, right? Success per se, and what's the correlation of really doing an MBA with success? Is it truly related? मैं बहुत बार बोलता हूँ, I tell it to a lot of students कि don't do MBA. MBA is worthless. MBA is worthless if you are not really understanding the crux of it. Okay, if you are not able to take the best out of it, otherwise it just becomes a degree, right? Unlike other professional courses, MBA doesn't give you one skill. Only those students who are able to understand the depth of what they are getting out of this course are able to make their life successful. And then second part is successful. Now, what does success mean? Success hai kya? Right? Success is very subjective. Success can be me getting a lot of money. Success can be me getting less money but still getting a lot of happiness of what I'm doing. Success can be me getting so much of fame around, or there can be multiple definitions of success for each of you. What happens is most of the time, which when I interact with the student, this definition of success in itself is not clear, right? And today we are going to be talking a bit about understanding what does success mean, and if you understand your definition of success, what is that you should be doing in your MBA program in the next 2 years to make sure that you achieve that desired success. Arpit sir, if you can probably put up the PPT I've shared, if it's there.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah, please. So guys, what I'm going to be doing, meanwhile sir is sharing the PPT, I'm going to be telling you a couple of stories and story of myself, because I believe you will be able to relate a lot with me, because I'm an MBA and it's been a journey of a decade now. 10 साल हुए हैं, look at me as a MBA student after 10 years and we'll be able to see what a typical MBA student go through in his journey if he's not very planned or if he's very planned, right? So both the perspectives I'll try to bring in my story. and I'll try to make it as interesting as possible so that you are all able to relate with your life because you're starting this journey now. I've been through this journey a decade back. Right? So I did my MBA in 2007-9. Uh, I did it from South India. So when I was doing MBA, I was, in fact, before MBA, I was a kid who was never clear about life में क्या करना है. I did my graduation in biotechnology. MBA का और biotechnology का कोई relation नहीं. I did my graduation in biotechnology. I was in my graduation days. I was thinking of getting into research, biotech research. I was good in academics. Later, I started rethinking about it, that what I enjoy, and somewhere this thought came कि business करना है. And I'll tell you वो thought कैसे आया. तो फोर्ब्स का लिस्ट आता है, मोस्ट रिचेस्ट पर्सन का लिस्ट जो हमेशा रिलीज होता है. एंड आउट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी वी ऑलवेज लुक एट दैट लिस्ट. एंड प्रोबब्ली यू मस्ट आल्सो बी डूइंग दैट. जब टॉप रिचेस्ट 100 का लिस्ट आता है तो हु आर दोस पर्सन. देयर इज वन कॉमन थिंग इन दैट लिस्ट ऑलवेज, और वो कॉमन चीज है 99% ऑफ देम आर ऑलवेज बिजनेसेस. आपको वर्ल्ड के टॉप रिचेस्ट में एम्प्लॉयज बेयरली दिखते हैं. तो उस समय बहुत ज्यादा मैच्योरिटी नहीं था, बट दिस थिंग समवेयर वाज कॉन्स्टेंटली हिटिंग आवर माइंड कि पैसा कमाना है तो बिजनेस ही करना है. अदर थिंग्स, एज आई सेड, द डेफिनेशन ऑफ सक्सेस इज वेरी डिफरेंट फॉर ऑल. उस समय माय डेफिनेशन ऑफ सक्सेस इज दैट प्रोबब्ली इफ आई मेक मोर मनी आई विल बी सो कॉल्ड सक्सेसफुल इन माय लाइफ. तो एक डिसीजन हो गया एंड ऑफ माय ग्रेजुएशन कि नहीं, मुझे करना तो बिजनेस है. अब बिजनेस करना है तो क्या करना है, एमबीए करते हैं. सो आई गॉट इनटू एमबीए, डिड कैट के थ्रू कॉलेज मिला, वेंट देयर. Now this thing, because it was very clear that I want to get into business, I was not very clear about कि business मतलब क्या, किस चीज business करना है वो नहीं पता था. Business करना है was very clear kind of a thing. So what I did is in the first semester of my MBA के पहले ही semester में, me with some of my friends, we started a very interesting venture called College Khabar. College Khabar was a thought wherein with खबरीज इन कॉलेज they can share us खबर्स कि कॉलेज में क्या हो रहा है, अंदर की बातें, and will publish on a platform, on a website. मतलब कॉलेज में जो भी कुछ होता है अंदर की बात वो सब हमें पता चले और हम लोग ये डालने लगेंगे तो सब लोगों को पता चलेगा इन अ पर्टिकुलर कॉलेज व्हाट हैपेंस. फॉर एग्जांपल IIBM में इंटरनली व्हाट इवेंट्स आर हैपनिंग, इंटरनली किस तरह के प्लेसमेंट्स हो रहे हैं, इंटरनली एक्चुअल एवरेज प्लेसमेंट कितना है. सो लाइकवाइज अक्रॉस इंडिया इन ऑल द डिफरेंट कॉलेजेस, what we see superficially at times is not very clear to student. तो हम लोगों ने सोचा कि चलो ठीक है, हम लोग खबरीज लाएंगे और खबर डालेंगे. We started with 4 खबरीज first semester of MBA. Fourth semester of MBA we had 2,500 खबरीज across India in all IITs and NITs, and College Khabar became India's largest student driven placement channel. मतलब अगर आपको किसी भी कॉलेज के प्लेसमेंट्स की रियल इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए तो आपको कॉलेज खबर पे मिलती है. So College Khabar became very popular as my first venture. I wanted to be in business. I could start a venture which was like India's leading site. Lekin I was not very clear about the fundamentals of business. Revenue models पे कभी ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं. तो advertising के through कुछ 70,000-80,000 rupees का monthly आता था. We were very happy with that. But later we realized जब MBA का एंड सीजन आता है, जब आपके प्लेसमेंट्स आते हैं, आई गॉट अ प्लेसमेंट इन वोडाफोन एंड वोडाफोन वाज गिविंग मी अ बेटर गुड जॉब. फिर लगा कि यार कॉलेज खबर से जो पैसा आता है वो तो बहुत कम है. 80,000 रुपीज आते थे, 3-4 लोग दोस्त थे. सो वी थॉट यार दैट इज वेरी लेस, वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू सर्वाइव विद दैट. सो वी थॉट विल जॉइन द जॉब्स. एंड विद दैट सिंपल थॉट, so we were 4 partners, 3 of us joined different jobs. I decided to join Vodafone, then somehow I felt that nahi mujhe business karna hai, so I declined that job. I didn't took my job from college. Meanwhile, in fourth semester, I applied for an international scholarship. So from Asia, 50 students were selected. I was one of them. I went to Europe. I had this option to choose my area of interest in research. So I chose entrepreneurship because I was loving it. There I got to work with some student companies. The student companies का फंडा रहता है कि हर कॉलेज में वहाँ पे group of student create kind of a virtual company and they work on a business idea. So I was deployed with 2-3 student companies to consult them on entrepreneurship to help them construct their business idea. And then there was a organization in US called Junior Achievement. Junior Achievement across the globe organizes business plan competition. So with those student companies, I helped them create the business plan, and we won the national award in Bulgaria for the best business plan, which gave me so much of confidence. So वो जो entrepreneurship कीड़ा था, that actually became more powerful. MBA के बाद job भी नहीं लिया था. फिर I came back to India and then I said कि I have done one successful venture before college कबल. अभी मुझे थोड़ा यूरोप का भी अच्छे एक्सपीरियंस आ गया है, तो पैसा भी कमा लिया है. There also I could win a national prize in the business ecosystem only, so I can do anything. So with that thought, I started another venture, which was called Campus Beats. Campus Beats का idea था कि colleges की alumni management को can colleges outsource, because that's a pain point. A lot of colleges are not able to create an effective alumni ecosystem. IBM in a way is doing a very good job at that front, but a lot of colleges have this challenge. I started with that. जो पैसा यूरोप में कमाया था वो सब एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाने में लगाया कैंपस बीट्स का. कुछ 7-8-10 लाख रुपए में वो प्लेटफॉर्म बना. आई मेट विद ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 400 colleges in India to pitch them about the product, and I got my first client as Symbiosis main campus here. But while this was happening, I realized that Indian education system is not that easy to work with. It was not so easy. After spending almost like 1 year of my time in building that platform, meeting so many colleges, I could do only one sale, and there was so much of pressure on my head from society, from family, and I'm coming from a very middle class, simple family. My father was working with handloom department of central government of India. So he was a weaver basically, handloom पे जो कपड़ा बनाते हैं. A very moderate, simple income, basic family. I had taken loan for my MBA. यूरोप से जो पैसा आया था उससे मैंने लोन नहीं पे किया. I actually invested in the business which I could not make successful, and there was so much of pressure, so I decided to get into a job. I joined a company in Pune called Articamp. I worked there for 18 months. But that spark of doing a business never stopped. So while working in that company also, I took that as my business. And with that thought, I joined that company as a digital marketing manager. But I worked in sales, I worked in HR, I worked in project management, I worked in process documentation, I worked in all the departments of that startup. And when I joined this company, it was like a 14-15 people ka company. And by the time I left this organization, we were a 35-40 strong team. And I got a very good growth from the salary perspective also. But 18 months के बाद में again the same thought started coming in कि अगर मुझे job ही करना था, then Vodafone was a very good opportunity in terms of the package they were offering, unlike what I'm getting here. But the whole reason of me declining Vodafone was I want to get in business. So I said the same thing to my boss, कि I want to do something. So he said कि कर ले. He gave me 1 year का official leave. आप करो business, होता है तो ठीक है, नहीं होता है तो come back. So I was secure. And with that thought, I started Social Gems. And with Social Gems, I tested success because when I started in 2011, those are very early days of social media in India. And the way we started as offering solutions with social media, actually offering growth consultation with social media, was nobody was doing at that time in India. So we got a very good success. And it's a journey of 9 years. I've worked with more than 500 brands, very interesting growth. Team is good now. Social Times ke baad mein I started a couple of more ventures. I started a company called Two Roots, which is now funded by State Government of Rajasthan, which is into experiential tourism space. I love speaking on different forums. So success came with some of, I won't call it as failures, but a lot of learnings by doing, right? And I never stopped doing things because as I said, my definition of success was somehow clear in my mind. Ki business karke, I think I will be successful. Now, Social Times is a team of 60 people. We have offices in US, in India. We are doing very interesting work with a lot of startups as well as some Fortune 100 brands also. We do interesting work on digital, on social media space, on advertising space, a lot of email campaigns and things. I'll tell you a story of a guy called, and this story is a very, so Dinu was a lumberjack, लकड़हारा जो हिंदी में कहते हैं, लकड़ी काटता है. And he used to go in forests. He used to cut trees for his living, and then he used to sell that wood. So one day, to find the right wood, he went to the forest, and he was cutting the trees. So whole day he cut, like getting late afternoon kind of a time. And while cutting the tree, he heard some howling sound of a fox. And he got a little frightened. He had his axe with him in his hand. So he started looking around where this fox is. And he could hear the sound, but he was not able to see anywhere. And he got a little restless. So he thought, running away, I should this fox is. So if at all he attacks me, I'll be in a position to defend myself. So he actually went a couple of steps in the direction from where the sound was coming to really understand whether it's one fox, multiple foxes, so that he can plan his defense. So he went there, he saw a very big, fat fox lying on the ground. And this fox had his leg broken, handicapped. Although he was quite healthy, but he could barely move because, and he was lying and he was howling. So Dinu went there, he looked at the fox, and he got kind of little relieved. He felt, okay, now this fox is handicapped. He will not be able to attack on me. So he felt relieved, and he thought, now let's get back to my work and in evening. So he went back, he started collecting the wood he could cut. It became late evening. Collecting it, he heard sound of a big roar of lion. Sher ki awaaz hai usse. And this time this guy got really frightened. Because fox के सामने तो he thought कि चलो एक बार I can defend. अभी lion को defend कैसे करेंगे? So he tried to understand कि sound किस direction में आ रहा है, so that I can run in the opposite direction. Otherwise, it should not happen that I do this face to face with this lion and then end of the story. So he tried, but he could not guess from which direction the sound is coming. But the sound was very clear. He could guess that lion is very near to him. So what he did is, near where this fox was lying, there was a big tree. He thought, I'll get onto the tree so that even if lion come, at least I'll be able to save myself. So he went up on the tree. And gradually the sound of this lion started becoming louder and louder and louder. And then he saw this lion. He was coming in the same direction, and a big, giant kind of a lion having a lot of hairs on his body. So he was to an extent relieved because he was on top of a tree. He knew that lions cannot climb a tree. So he knew that he's safe. But at the same time, he looked at this fox and he felt कि यार अभी तो End of the story. Now this lion will come, the fox cannot walk, he'll eat this fox, and story over. And then lion came and he started moving towards this fox, and this guy started looking at the scene uh, from top of the tree. But then something strange happened. कुछ बहुत अलग हुआ. This lion went there near the fox and opened his big mouth. Or from his mouth, he dropped a piece of flesh of meat into the mouth of fox. और fox ने वो meat खा लिया. And then lion went away. And this guy was really surprised looking at what happened. I mean, it was very unheard of, never thought about kind of a thing. Lion came, he gave this piece of flesh to fox. He was surprised, but because lion was gone, he also went away. But he felt very restless entire night about the event which happened. So he thought, देखते हैं कल क्या होता है. So he again went next day, same place, on the same tree. Again in the evening, same lion came, big lion came, and the lion opened the mouth, put up the piece of meat again to the fox, and fox ate. And this story repeated for almost like a week. Yeah. And this guy then got a realization of his life. And his realization was that nature takes care of everyone. कि nature सबका ख्याल रखता है. So he felt that he got a wisdom कि nature, if nature is taking care of this fox, nature will take care of me also. So what he did with his wisdom, he said that now I will do nothing. What I'll do is I'll spend time with nature and nature will take care of me. So he stopped doing his job of cutting wood. He started living in the forest, and under a banyan tree, he sat doing some meditation and dhyan kind of a thing, and with a very good level of confidence कि nature will take care of me, कि nature ने fox को भी ध्यान रखा था, मेरा भी ध्यान रखेगा. So one day happened, 2 day happened, he started feeling thirsty, hungry, but nature did nothing. Nobody came to give him water or food or nothing. 4 days, 5 days, and this guy after a week became very weak kind of a thing. But he felt that I should not leave my persistence. I should follow my wisdom. Nature will take care of me. And if I do that, nature will really take care of me. So with that thought, he continued. And then 2 weeks passed. So after 2 weeks, because he had no water to drink, he had ate nothing, he became so weak that he could not even stand. Now, because he could not stand, he could not do anything to even get for his living. Again, 3-4 days passed. He was on the verge of collapse. His body started to stop responding to his thoughts and all. And while all this was happening, he saw a saint, sadhu, moving from near that banana tree. And this saint looked at this guy under the tree in such a bad situation, and the saint went to him और पूछा कि what happened to you? And Dinu said कि this was the incident. Nature is taking care of this fox, so nature should take care of me, but nature is not taking care of me. And sadhu, this saint, smiled, and the saint said, why do you want to be this fox? Why don't you be a lion? Right? And this opened up his perspective a bit. Right? And this is what is happening in our lives. What we are doing here is we are actually acting as the fox with an assumption that nature will take care of me. Right? We have taken an admission in a good college and now we are going with the thought process कि अभी मैंने एक अच्छे कॉलेज में एडमिशन ले लिया है, अभी तो IIBM का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि मुझे अच्छा प्लेसमेंट मिलेगा, अभी तो IIBM का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो मुझे अच्छा पढ़ाएंगे. Right? It's other way around. You've got a good college, but now it's your responsibility that you make your success, right? And it's a game of mindset, as I said. The mindset is very, very important in your success. And very few students are really cautious about their definition of success and their mindset. कि क्या करना है, क्यों करना है. So for example, if I ask you, why did you join to do your MBA or PGDM program here? क्यों करना है? How many of you have real clear answers to it? Right? Do you really know what will happen after MBA? Are you doing MBA to get good placement? वो तो शायद आप विदाउट MBA भी करते ट्राई तो आपको कहीं मिल जाता जॉब. Are you doing MBA because you feel that you'll get good colleagues? Or is it to get good salary? Whatever that be. The question is, do you have a clarity of what after MBA? Why are you doing this program? Now, unless that clarity is there in your mind, your actions will never go in that direction. Now, if you don't know, so for example, if you have not dreamt of earning 100 crores in next 10 years, you don't know what steps to take to achieve that goal or that dream or that definition of success of yours, right? If you don't know that if your definition of success is impacting lives of say 10,000 people with some social cause, if you don't have this clarity, your action will not drive. So what's more important at this stage of your journey is spend some good time with yourself to define what is your definition of success and set your mindset towards that definition. Now, the journey of MBA is very interesting. Most of students like me, when I did my MBA, we always do an MBA with a lot of good cozy pictures. ऐसा जो टीवी में देखते हैं ना, मूवीज में देखते हैं, MBA मतलब एक मैनेजर एसी रूम में बैठा है, टेबल पे है, अच्छा एक टाई है, देन देयर इज अ असिस्टेंट, वेरी गुड लुकिंग, गुड फिगर वाला गर्ल स्टैंडिंग नेक्स्ट टू हिम. So that's a very cozy, interesting picture. एक बड़ा विंडो है, ग्लास विंडो है, and then you're seeing a big scenery out there, and that's a MBA manager का life. But when you actually get onto field, then you realize that it's not that, right? And to get there, it's a very different path which you need to move on. So normally what happens is when we are doing MBA, we spend so much of time in following the knowledge of the curriculum. So we spend time on understanding or learning the theories given by Kotler in marketing and a lot of other experts. So we start giving so much of time to read and understand this. Normally what happens is कि आप अगर कोई भी प्रोग्राम देख लीजिए, आप you get onto any professional degrees like say doctor. A doctor is a master, but doctor is a very poor manager normally because उसने management नहीं सीखा रहता है. तो आप किसी भी vocational program में या किसी भी skill based program में जाइए, you will see those people are masters in their work, but they are not able to manage things. They are not good managers. Now MBA teaches you management skill. Now that puts you upper in the hierarchy. But it's important that you learn those managerial skills. If you're not able to learn that, you will, after MBA also, you will get an execution job. And that's what normally is the practical reality. कि अगर आपके यहाँ पे 100 बच्चे हैं तो उसमें से 70-80% बच्चों को execution level के job ही मिलते हैं. So they'll get on ground sales के jobs, or they'll get finance में basic level के early level jobs. Why? You have not given yourself to get the needed management knowledge time on what is a part of curriculum. You're not trying to take yourself a step up. And to move beyond that, on the leadership side, there are some extra skills which normally even in IBM you'll see they do a lot of programs here and there, a lot of events wherein you get an opportunity to show your leadership skills. and a lot of times student feel कि यार ये क्या time pass है, but somehow these are the skills, these are the basic things, those soft skills and leadership skills which actually help you grow on the fields. Nobody asks you definitions of what you learned in your management, right? वो आपको theory कोई नहीं पूछता है, आपका fundamental understanding and your ability to present yourself actually help you grow, right? So because you're starting your journey, I would say think about it holistically. Be clear about your definition of success. Rethink whether your mind is in that direction towards whatever dream you are keeping. And then think what all things my management program, my MBA program is doing towards it, and what extra I would need to do it myself along with the program to get qualified to achieve my dream in the stipulated time, whatever time I'm setting for myself. Okay? And again, I'll tell you one more story, and this is I've taken from Devdutt Patnaik books, which I love a lot. Now, this is again trying to on for you to understand your definition of success. So there are 3 promised lands जो हम बात करते हैं कि the best places to be for anyone, कि मुझे स्वर्ग में जाना है. So स्वर्ग is considered as the most royal place. If someone is passed away, so that is another, or promised land, or someone passed Kailashpati, then saying that this after death he is actually going to Kailash or Swargvasi, he is going to Swarg, because those are assumed as the best places to be. And there are some very interesting things about all these 3 promised lands, right? And try and understand what is your promised land. जब आप अपना success plan कर रहे हैं, what is your promised land, right? So let's look at Swarga, or the heaven, where the king is Indra. अभी इंद्रा का कैसा है ना, Indra has got everything with him. He has got so much of wealth, so many people serving him, a very good big empire made of gold and stuff. Still, he is very insecure. He's so insecure about it that if he see a rishi doing tapasya, वो ऐसा रंभा को भेज देता है, unleash रंभा की जाके वो ऋषि का तपस्या भंग करो. Why? Because he's very insecure. Despite of having so many things with him, he's restless. He is still not happy. He has got wealth. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Indra is feeling insecure because for him, his hunger matters first, and his hunger is to have enough wealth, right? And he's insecure because he feels कि अगर कोई असुर या कोई अटैक करेगा तो मेरा वेल्थ कम हो जाएगा. कोई ऋषि तपस्या करके कुछ बड़ा बन जाएगा तो he may attack on my kingdom. So उसके लिए important है कि उसका hunger पहले meet हो, right? So this is one scenario, that you have got so much of wealth, but you are not secure. You are still not able to sleep, not happy with it. Then there is another promised land, which is Shiva, the Kailash mountain. अभी Kailash mountain आप देखेंगे, so it's like a arid land. There's nothing. I mean, all the snow, not even proper oxygen, no trees. It's like a place where living is very difficult. Although Shiv lives there, that's what our mythology says, right? Now Shiva के केस में कैसा है? His hunger is outgrown. Now he has nothing he want further. And if you look at his family also, you'll see his family is like that only. So you see there is a snake in the neck of Shiva, and there is a peacock lying there. A peacock खाता है snake को, but still they are living together. Ganpati का vehicle is mouse. Snake eats mouse, but they are still living together. Nandi is in service of Shiva, or Parvati ka vahan is again a lion. Lion can eat this bull, right? Although all of those are living in harmony. Why? Because for all of them, the hunger is outgrown. Now there is no prosperity. They have got no wealth. They have got no nothing, but they don't want it. They're still happy. Now, in the previous case, they had everything, correct? But he was not happy. Indra was not happy. Shiva has nothing, but his hunger is outgrown and he's happy. And the third promised land, which is Vishnu, Vaikuntha, this is very interesting. Unlike other two, Vishnu is more kind of a person who believes in action. He participates. He gets engaged. So Vishnu comes in the avatar of Krishna and do that Krishna Leela. Comes in the avatar of Rama and do that Ram Leela. Right? So he acts, he participates in things. And that brings a very interesting way of you looking at your life. अभी नॉर्मली क्या होता है, आप अभी एमबीए के बाद में जैसे ही बाहर जाएंगे, एक रेस चालू हो जाती है. And that race is to win. Everyone wants to be a winner. Against what? Nobody knows, but they just want to be ahead of everyone. अब winning का definition in the mind कैसा रहता है? That you want to win against someone. किसी को हराते हो तभी आप जीतते हो, right? Unlike them, Vaikuntha is of a philosophy that you live in a playground, which is a Rangabhumi, right? It's not a battleground, it's a playground. Now, battleground and playground are different. Battleground means you're doing a battle to win. Playground means you're playing to enjoy every moment of it, right? Now, take your journey of MBA and post that as a playground, as a Rangabhumi, and enjoy every step of your actions, right? If you have got a target set by your sales heads, enjoy that. I mean, that's a playground, right? If you do that, you will see a very good growth happening. My example, when I did my job in Articam for 18 months, I never wanted to be superior to all my 20, 30 other colleagues to go ahead with them. I was actually enjoying my journey. I was enjoying when I was working with a sales team which I built. I was enjoying with project management people or the development people when they were working things. So I was trying to assist them as much as possible, and that actually made my journey very beautiful. Growth automatically followed, right? So Vishnu's philosophy says that take care of hunger of your mates first, and then that will satisfy your hunger. So, for example, in my organization, I always think of how do I ensure that my team is happy? How do I make sure that their hunger is satisfied, their hunger of growth is satisfied, right? So if I'm able to do that, automatically my hunger satisfies, right? So consider these aspects of planning your narratives of growth. And as I said before, this mindset is very important. So जैसा आपका बिलीफ रहता है वैसा आपका बिहेवियर रहता है, और जैसा आपका बिहेवियर है वैसा आपका बिजनेस या जॉब में आपका एक्शन रहता है. तो जैसा विश्वास वैसा व्यवहार और वैसा व्यापार. The way you think, the way you dream, the way you set your targets, automatically your actions will start working in that direction, and gradually you will graduate towards the cause or the purpose you're setting as the definition of success, right? So never ever look at it as with a self motive that my hunger matters first. Because if you're saying it for you only, my hunger matters first, then you are in a battleground. And in a battleground, you'll get the prosperity, but you'll not get the peace, right? Instead, think of how you can meet others' hungers. So, and that's what management is about: working in team, showing your leadership skills. Look at it as a playground. and think of it as a playground. Every day you're doing this play, and every day you should be enjoying it. Remember your days of childhood. छोटे थे तब आप क्रिकेट खेलने जाते थे, हर दिन जाते थे, झगड़ा करते थे, चोट लगती थी, फिर भी आप घर पे आते थे तो खुश रहते थे. वो चोट लगने के बाद आप पेन भी होता था तो भी आप खुश रहते थे, बिकॉज दैट वाज द प्लेग्राउंड. आप हारते थे तो भी आप खुश रहते थे. सो दैट वाज द प्लेग्राउंड. एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज, आप गिरते थे, पढ़ते थे, लगती थी, फिर भी आप नेक्स्ट डे जाते थे, राइट? Because then it was not about failures. आप मैच हारे हैं तो then also it was not about failures. It was a playground, right? So have that same thought in your mind that every day of your MBA is a playground for you. Every day you're going to be enjoying that journey and learning something for good. And if you have this attitude, the prosperity will come with peace, right? I mean, money always, see, money के पीछे मत भागो. Money follows. And in the scenario we are today, I see a lot of opportunities for those who are qualified to earn. So much of opportunities, and especially with the COVID thing, opportunities have increased like hell. A lot of people say because of COVID, so many things are going down bad and all. But in a way, that has actually opened up opportunities for those handful of people who are actually qualified or actually good. Companies are going to be cutting down jobs, very possible. But at the same time, companies are going to be recruiting people who are more efficient, more brainful, more powerful than others, right? And they're going to be getting more growth than they could get. Very recently, अगर आपने देखा होगा, there's a brand called Whitehead Junior. Whitehead Junior is into online learnings for kids, and they make courses around making coding easy for kids. तो kids के लिए coding कैसे सीखा जाए, kind of a thing. And they are 3-4 days back acquired by Byju's for $300 million. Now, this company in February, they had their revenue, annual revenue as $12 million. February 2020. In 4 months, by July 2020, their revenue went up to $150 million, all thanks to COVID. So I'm saying those who are doing good, they are actually growing and getting growth leaps and bounds. I mean, all these things are just excuses for us, I mean, those who have really put the genuine efforts in their journey. So plan your journey well. And these are some of my learnings, which I'm sharing as an MBA student after 10 years of my MBA, a decade of journey. Never wait for good time to come. Never ever think कि समय आएगा और मैं ये करूँगा. Companies will come for the placement and then I'll start preparing for the GDPI, for example. Or I want to start my business and then I'll do it after MBA or after 2 years of doing job and then I'll do this. All those things never materialize. If you want to do something, do it right now. I mean, today is the moment to do it. I did my first venture in my first semester. I could do it. अगर मैं सोचता MBA में पहले सीख लेता हूँ कैसे करना है, बाद में करेंगे तो नहीं होता. As I said, look at it as a playground. Don't get into the battleground. You'll keep fighting. Will never be happy. Have this habit of giving. Be a lion and not the fox, right? Help your mates to help them grow. If they grow, you will automatically grow. And that actually will inculcate the leadership abilities in you. Never settle for less. Never ever get satisfied with what you have already achieved. If you achieve something, set up a better target and again start your actions. Very important. Put up a habit of doing audits. So अभी आप जब जॉब में जाएंगे तो आप देखेंगे आपके every organization function you'll see audits happening. फाइनेंस में फाइनेंशियल ऑडिट होते हैं, सेल्स में सेल्स ऑडिट्स होते हैं, एचआर के एचआर ऑडिट्स होते हैं. ऑडिट में दे ट्राई टू सी कि क्या स्टेटस है, क्या मिस्टेक्स है, कितना ग्रोथ हुआ है. डू दोज ऑडिट्स फॉर योरसेल्फ. सी इन अ वीक हाउ मच यू हैव ग्रोन. हैव यू ग्रोन और नॉट? अगर आपको लगता है you have started your journey in MBA and in a month's time you're looking at yourself and you're saying I'm still the same, that means there's something wrong. You're not putting in right efforts in right direction, right? And very important, think big, set your targets, and plan ahead. Planning is crucial. You will fail, your plan will go for toss, all these things will happen. But unless you plan, you will not be able to move in that direction. I've learned most of these things as a hard learning by doing mistakes. But I feel at the juncture where you are currently, all these things will really add so much of value to your growth. So that's it, guys, from my side. Plan your journey well. I'm sure you're going to be getting heights. You're in a very good place. Pune is a beautiful location, a very good feeling place. And beyond that, it has a lot of opportunities. For me, marketing, I've got a lot from the ecosystem in Pune. Education-wise, it's good. So it's a good place, good organization. Just plan it well. And again, I'm saying I started on the same note. MBA is worth it if you are not able to make out of good out of it. If you just are thinking of it as a degree, you'll end up getting a early level entry jobs, and then you'll learn hard by doing. So that's I'm open to questions.
So very beautifully and very simplistically you have put up. If with your permission, sir, can we start with the question and answers, sir, that the students have put up for you?
Definitely, sir. Please.
Sir, my first question to you is, sir, where do you see social media management as a whole heading in next 10 years?
Uh, Interesting question, sir. And I would want to correct thing there. So, social media management versus social media marketing are two different dimensions to it. Uh, from the management standpoint, social media is just another resource. I mean, management talks about resource handling. But if you look at it as a marketing dimension of social media, then it's a field which is constantly evolving and constantly growing. 7, 8 years back, none of us ever imagined that we will be, as a marketer, I'm saying, that we will be able to reach to uh, a potential buyer so beautifully. So when I'm saying this, social media, I mean, Facebook, for example, knows about you more than you do. Facebook knows what kind of food you like, what kind of genres of movie you like, आपका watch time किस तरह के genre पे कितना रहता है, so many things which you yourself might not know about you. And as a marketer, it has opened up so many opportunities. And it is growing and growing and growing because a lot of innovation happening with the rich content coming up, AR, VR kind of things coming up, the experience of so digital transformation is already happening, and the digital transformation is becoming rich and rich. So social media is going to be playing a crucial role for I think as long as it's possible. I don't see it dying in next 10 years for sure.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, the next question is, what is the scope of social media marketing? I mean, how can an individual grow in this area of expertise? Because now everyone or the other seems to be interested in this line of business. So, what is the scope for an individual?
True. So I'll want everyone to think of social media as a vehicle for success. And the moment your thinking goes in that direction, you will start seeing it beautifully that social media is helping you in very different dimensions. So one is actually making social media as your career. It's an upcoming field, leaps and bounds of growth. Definitely, you can get into that as a career. But even if you're not getting into social media as a career, still adopting social media as a part of your life, looking at it as a vehicle, it can help you everywhere. So being in sales, being in HR, being anywhere, social media can give you so many interesting ways to grow. So I've seen smart salespeople using social media tactics to set up the meetings with the prospects instead of, so cold calling is dying, for example, in industry now, right? So social media is playing that role everywhere. All you need to do is to be mindful of how you use it. And as a career, as I said, no second thoughts. It's an upcoming field. The adoption is increasing, and with Government of India digital India initiatives, it's going to be going further. Students can definitely look at it as a good career choice.
So, so now I will move to the personal front, wherein students are very keen to know more about you after the talk. And my first question that will be now predominantly on your personal way of living and your personal self is will go like this, sir. Business or job must be a major dilemma that you had gone through and made a decision. But what were those key factors, three or four key factors, which made you decide to turn towards this side?
Um, so when I did it, when the decision happened, I must say that maturity level was not as high. But as I said, the first thing which prompted me to get into business was money. Second was fame, and third was I knew that it's going to be a challenge, and I wanted to go through this challenge. Wanted to prove myself that I can do it. So these were three things which I think prompted me to get into business. And I must say that the journey is definitely challenging. It's not a cakewalk for sure.
Certainly, certainly. I can vouch for that too. Sir, the next is a, maybe I could say it's a continuing question to that. Sir, when you decided to venture into business and you had such a wonderful idea, and with college khabri have grown out of proportion, so why you did not think of taking a support of a seed funder or an angel investor rather than doing something else?
Okay. So see, these are all learnings in my life. Uh, I remember in 2009 early, we were approached by a seed fund to invest. It was a proactive approach from their end.
Hmm.
Uh, Four of us, the founders, thought that it's very early to go for investment because हमें पैसे की जरूरत नहीं थी. We were anyways out of it. And we never actually, and that's again a big learning that we never went with a mentor. So mentor plays a very crucial role in your life. I must say that everyone must have good mentors with them.
That was the next question to you, sir.
So because at that part of life we had no mentors, some decisions went wrong. The decision of getting into job and not continuing college cover was one of the big things, because if you could have done it, the scenarios would have been very different today.
One of my student has posted saying that if college cover would have continued, it could have been Indian Facebook.
Might be because in very early days, I mean, I'm talking about 2007-9, we were competing with Shiksha head to head. So it
Yes,
was that big in those days. But then gradually it died because we could not focus on it. Once you're in job, doing parallelly a lot many things doesn't happen.
doesn't
So
happen. So that's one of the brilliant things that I have heard today. As the next question was on mentorship, and you have answered it, I'll put the half of it, which was not answered. Sir, what difference a mentor can bring to a startup?
I'm consulting a lot of startups. In fact, I'm working with a lot of startups, being like a virtual founding team for them. Um, See, a mentor plays a crucial role from direction setting perspective. Mentors help you save so much of your time, which you normal time in learning, or I'll say the learning curve time, because a lot of things we learn by doing, and mentor actually give you that learning because they have, for example, me, I've seen so many failures in my life or so many learnings in my life. So when I consult a startup, I know what all probable mistakes they will make.
You save that time for them.
Yeah, we
And
say
also the pain.
true.
Sir, the next question is, sir, how do you get such level of clarity? Or what is that mindset that you have developed? And what is your mantra?
Self introspection is the mantra, I must say. Very rarely we spend time with ourselves. Very rarely we ask questions to ourselves. And mostly we try to justify ourselves. I mean, that's the biggest problem we do. Uh, See, the mind works in a fashion that it always try to justify our own self to be in the comfort zone. I mean, that's how we being humans are. But always asking this whys and hows to yourself opens up your mindset, right? So I must say that every day, give those 10-15 minutes of me time just thinking about you, answering about your own questions, answering or introspecting or cross questioning your own actions. If you do that, certainly clarity starts coming in the actions.
That's very correct. So that's very correct. It's very difficult to follow on every day, but that is the difference between a successful venture, a successful business, and a failure. Sir, the next question, I'll not take more, I'll take only two questions with you. The next question is, sir, how do you deal with uncertainty? I mean, for last 4 or 5 months, we all are going through absolute uncertainty, and students are asking these questions because they have a lot of doubts and a lot of questions. I won't say doubts. Doubt is a wrong word. They have a lot of questions popping up in their mind, and I feel as an individual, you are not wrong to be uncertain because the world is uncertain. Sir, what is your view to handle uncertainty?
So I'll tell you my learning in COVID. And talking about uncertainty, I personally believe that fear, uncertainty, anxiety are all state of mind, which you can control. Your state of mind can be controlled by yourself. Uh, See, as I talked about having the right mindset, as I talked about looking it as the playground, changes the way of living, certainly. So, for example, in early March, when this COVID thing happened, we lost almost like 30-35% of revenue in social jams coming from the international.
My goodness, that's huge. Sir.
Yes, so it all happened in 2 weeks when the lockdown and all those things started there. So that was the time we had to, and definitely it brings panic. But we took it as an opportunity because now we have no work. And if we have no work, we can give more time to our self learning, which we were not able to do because we had no time. So we
Sir,
used that time to invest on learning, experimenting with new things, developing new services in our portfolio. I spent a lot of time because I'm into consulting also. So I spent a lot of time in learning business innovation, for example. I did a lot of courses on Coursera and stuff personally to enhance my
here,
skills.
sir, here I must add that our students are also given access to Coursera,
Wow.
and we have given them access. I mean, the subscription is by the institute. We have
Wow.
asked them to do 4 courses, but I am taking this opportunity to tell them that when they come back, I need 10. And here you are hearing from the horse's mouth, somebody so senior, somebody a winner in the business is using Coursera. So people, please listen to him carefully. And sir, I mean, I'm so sorry I had to say this in between because I could not stop myself. So please continue.
So I'm saying, see, learning has to be continuous. And again, we as an organization looked it as a playground. That we are not here to win. Losses happens. Okay, I mean you lose in the matches, but
Sir,
that's not end of the story. The game should go on, right? I mean you should, and we enjoyed. I mean we enjoyed last 4 months because of a lot of learning. There were a lot of new things happening. First time in our 10 years of history of social gems, we worked remotely. It never happened. In fact, employees are now saying कि आपने कभी हमें work from home नहीं करने दिया, पहले आप क्यों करने दिया? Right? So that mindset change happened. All those things are for good, right? We went back probably step or two with the revenue losses, and we are recovering again. That's how it is. But if we remain in that state of panic and सब छोड़ दिया कि नहीं अभी तो पता नहीं क्या होगा होगा कि नहीं होगा तो फिर तो कुछ नहीं होगा, right? And then we'll not be able to recover, right? So I'll insist all the students look at COVID as an opportunity. If you look at it as an opportunity and if you spend time in developing yourself in these days, nobody will be able to stop your growth. Because the way you're thinking, everyone is thinking in the same fashion. And after 1 year, 2 years, you'll see a lot of students, because of this panic thing, they did not prepare. Those couple of certain percentage of people who were serious about it will be the winners.
How true, sir. Sir, my last question to you is, can you suggest some authors or business leaders we must read or follow, predominantly from the digital marketing or the social media front, to understand the business better and enhance our knowledge?
Certainly depends upon your areas of interest. So when we talk about authors, it certainly depends upon your nature. So, for example, in my case, I read a lot of different authors. So I follow Neil Patel because he gives a lot of technical digital knowledge for us to constantly explore and do. I follow Tony Brown. I follow Paulo Coelho because of the spiritual sense of things they bring to table. And then my reading is very impulsive. So I go more with the context than with the author. It's how I look at it. So contextually, when I'm on exploration mode. So, for example, last couple of weeks I was in the exploration mode of business innovation frameworks. So, more than who are the authors behind those frameworks, I was more keen on the context of what they're bringing on table. And I think this is very subjective for everyone of us.
Okay, sir. Uh, to conclude, thank you so much, sir, for your time and words of wisdom. You have not only shared the reality, the pain points, but also given us insight into the world of digital marketing and the future that it holds. Your experiences will help us in making our young community the bright professionals of tomorrow. With this, I would like to thank you once again on behalf of IIEBM Indus Business School. And sir, I'm sure when the students are back, we will be with you physically and take it forward from here, sir.
Definitely, sir. And it's really my pleasure. I always love interacting with the students. Could not have face-to-face meeting because of COVID. Else would have really seen people going through the lecture. And students, if you have anything you want to talk to me, I'm always reachable on social channels. You can ask your questions. I would love to answer.
Thank you
you.
so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.